Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something super relevant? We're tackling AI ethics today.
Yeah, big topic these days.
Huge, and it's not just some far-off thing,
No, not at all. It's impacting education and the marketplace right now.
Absolutely. In fact, we're diving into a brand new article.
Oh, fresh off the press.
Literally. It's from ourframedlife.com called Navigating the Ethics of AI, Impacts on Education and Marketplace, published today, November 17th, 2024.
Wow, so whether you're prepping for a meeting or just curious about how AI is shaping the world.
Or just love keeping up with this stuff,
Yeah, exactly. This deep dive is for you.
So let's start with AI Ethics 101. What does that even mean?
Well, think of it like this. AI ethics is all about setting guidelines.
Okay, guidelines for what, though?
For how we develop and manage artificial intelligence. Basically, making sure AI is used responsibly. We don't want it to cause more problems than it solves.
Makes sense. The article talks about fairness, accountability, transparency, and privacy as, like, the core principles.
Yeah.
Why are those so crucial, especially in education?
Let me put it this way. Imagine an AI system grading your work.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Or even deciding which college you get into.
That's a little scary.
It is, right? If those systems aren't fair or unbiased...
The consequences could be huge.
Absolutely massive. And that leads us to how AI is already impacting school kids.
Whoa, so this isn't just a future thing.
Not at all. It's happening right now.
So give us an example. How is AI actually being used in classrooms today?
One big one is personalized learning. AI can analyze a student's strengths and weaknesses and then,
Like create a custom learning plan.
Exactly. It can even adjust the pace of instruction.
Wow, that's like having a personal tutor.
Yeah, that adapts to each student's learning style. Pretty cool, huh?
This sounds amazing. But the article also mentions some downsides. What are some of the risks of using AI in education?
Well, one concern is over-reliance on technology.
Meaning kids might become too dependent on AI.
Exactly. If students rely on AI for all the answers, they might not develop critical thinking. Those essential problem-solving skills that are, crucial for life.
Right. We don't want AI to become a crutch.
Nope. We want kids to learn how to think for themselves.
Oh, and what about the digital divide? Not all students have access to the latest tech or reliable internet.
That's a great point. And it's a serious issue. We need to make sure AI doesn't worsen those existing inequalities.
Totally. That would defeat the whole purpose, right? If the goal is to make things better.
Absolutely. It's crucial we ensure equitable access to these technologies. If we don't, we risk widening the gap even more.
The article also mentions data privacy. I could see how collecting data on students could raise some ethical questions.
For sure. I mean, when AI systems are gathering all this info on students, their learning patterns, how they're doing, even their emotional states.
Yeah. How do we know it's being used ethically?
Exactly. And that's a major concern. How is this data being protected? So yeah, AI in education, it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Definitely a double-edged sword. Huge potential to personalize learning and help students, but...
And those ethical concerns are definitely there. Can't ignore them.
And speaking of responsibility, the article points out that things get even more complex as students go to high school and college.
Yeah, the risks get bigger.
Like what?
Well, for example, there's the potential for cheating, a lot more potential.
Oh, yeah. AI is getting so sophisticated, students could use it to cheat on assignments or even exams.
Exactly. So where do we draw the line? Between using tech to our advantage.
And ensuring academic integrity.
You got it. It's tricky. While AI might create new ways to cheat.
The decision to cheat ultimately rests with the student.
Right, but do you think the availability of these tools could influence those decisions? Maybe it creates a short-term mentality where the focus shifts from actually learning.
Just getting the right answer no matter how.
That's a good point. It's possible. Maybe AI is contributing to a culture where the process of learning is less important than the outcome.
So how do we combat that? How do we, encourage academic integrity when AI can make cheating easier?
That's something educators and institutions are struggling with right now. It's not just about stricter rules, it's about fostering a love of learning.
Where students value hard work, critical thinking, and doing things the right way.
Exactly.
Sounds like a tough challenge.
It is, but it's vital if we want to use AI for good in education.
Okay, but let's step outside the classroom for a sec. How is AI transforming the marketplace?
Oh, in countless ways. It's changing everything from marketing to customer service to, even supply chain management.
It's kind of mind-blowing how much AI is working behind the scenes, like those targeted ads I see online.
Oh, you mean the ones that seem to know exactly what you're thinking about buying?
Yeah. Those are powered by AI, right?
They are. AI is analyzing tons of data about your online behavior, what you like, what you buy. It's all about delivering those super personalized ads.
It's impressive, but also a little creepy.
I know, right? It makes you think about privacy. Where's the line between personalization and intrusion?
Exactly. That's a huge ethical question.
And then there's the impact on jobs. Lots of talk about AI automating tasks that humans used to do.
So are robots going to take all our jobs?
Well, it's not that simple. While some jobs will definitely be automated, AI will also create new opportunities. The key is to adapt and develop skills that'll be in demand in this new AI-driven world.
So it's not about fearing job displacement, but preparing for a changing job market.
Right. We need to think about how to use AI to enhance what humans can do, not just see it as a threat.
I like that. Working with AI, not against it.
Precisely. And the article brings up this interesting point about fear, the fear of falling behind.
You mean the fear of becoming obsolete if you don't embrace AI?
Exactly. It's a powerful motivator both in education and the marketplace. Think about it. If you're a school and everyone else is using AI for personalized learning,
You don't want your students to be left behind.
right? And if you're a company and your competitors are using AI to optimize their business,
You're going to want to keep up.
exactly. So it's not just about keeping up with the Joneses, it's about staying competitive in a rapidly changing world. But the question is this fear pushing us towards ethical AI development?
Or are we cutting corners just to keep up?
Yeah, that's the big question. It's possible that the rush to adopt AI is making some people overlook the ethical implications.
So we need to find that balance
Yeah.
between embracing innovation.
And ensuring that AI is developed and used responsibly.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we build an ethical framework for AI?
Well, the article highlights a few key areas.
Like what?
Transparency, accountability, and education.
Okay, break that down for us. What does transparency look like when we're talking about AI?
It means being clear about how AI systems work, the data they use, how decisions are made. Basically, making sure AI isn't a black box where we have no clue what's happening inside.
No more algorithms making decisions without us understanding why.
Exactly. We need to be able to understand and scrutinize how AI systems make decisions, especially when those decisions affect our lives.
I can see how that builds trust. But transparency is just one piece. What about accountability?
Accountability means knowing who's responsible when an AI system messes up or causes harm.
So if an AI system makes a mistake,
Who takes the blame? We can't just blame the algorithm.
right, we need clear lines of responsibility.
Exactly. We need ways to identify and address the ethical implications of AI decisions, whether through regulations, internal audits, or other methods.
Makes sense. And the article also talks about education. What's the role of education in all this?
It's crucial on multiple levels. We need to educate the public about AI, what it can do, its potential, its challenges.
And teach students how to think critically about AI.
Exactly. Help them understand its ethical implications. We also need to train professionals on the ethical development and use of AI systems.
Wow, so education is key to ensuring that AI is used responsibly.
It really is. It's not just about teaching people to code AI, but about fostering a deeper understanding of its impact on society, its ethical side.
So it's a multifaceted approach.
Ah.
Transparency, accountability, and education. What else can we do to create a more ethical AI future?
Well, one crucial element is involving a variety of perspectives in the development and use of AI.
You mean making sure the people creating and using AI come from diverse backgrounds, have different experiences, different values?
Exactly. We need to ensure AI isn't being developed in a vacuum, but in a way that reflects the needs and values of society as a whole.
That's important. If we want AI to benefit everyone needs a voice in shaping it.
Exactly. And that leads to another important point. The need for constant dialogue and debate about AI ethics. This isn't a one-time conversation.
So we need to constantly reassess and adapt as AI technology changes.
That's right. AI ethics is not a static field. As AI technology advances and its impact on society grows, we need to keep talking about its ethical implications and adjust our guidelines and policies accordingly.
So it's a dynamic process that requires us to be vigilant and flexible.
Absolutely. And this is where you, our listeners, come in.
What do you mean? How can our listeners help shape an ethical AI future?
Stay informed. Read articles like the one we're discussing today. Learn about AI, its potential, its challenges.
Talk to people with different perspectives.
Yes. And if you see something concerning, speak up.
So don't just passively consume information about AI. Actively engage with it and share your thoughts.
Your voice matters. We need to have these conversations everywhere, in our schools, workplaces, and communities.
It's not just about experts and policymakers deciding the future of AI. It's about all of us having a say in how it shapes our world.
Exactly. The future of AI is not preordained. We are shaping it with every choice we make.
That's a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a more ethical AI future. But let's shift gears for a moment and focus on how AI is impacting the marketplace specifically.
Sure. The article highlights some pretty profound ways AI is changing businesses.
Give us some examples. How is AI being used in the business world today?
Well, one area where AI is having a big impact is customer service. Lots of companies are now using those AI-powered chatbots.
Yeah, to answer customer questions and stuff, right?
Exactly, to resolve issues, provide recommendations, all sorts of things.
I've interacted with those chatbots.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're talking to a real person.
I know, right? That's how sophisticated AI has become. And for businesses, it can be super efficient. Chatbots can handle a ton of inquiries simultaneously, freeing up human agents to focus on those more complex issues.
With having a whole army of virtual customer service reps.
Yeah, working 24/7. But what do you think? Can AI ever fully replace human interaction in customer service?
That's a good question.
Right. It's being debated a lot. While AI can definitely handle those routine tasks, there are times when you need that human touch, empathy, intuition, that real problem solving that only humans can provide.
So it's about finding the right balance, AI and human interaction working together.
Exactly. AI can enhance customer service, but we got to use it in a way that supports human capabilities, not replaces them entirely.
Makes sense. How about other areas of business? What about marketing?
Oh, AI is transforming marketing in a big way, especially with personalization. Remember those targeted ads we were talking about?
The ones that seem to read our minds.
Those are a prime example. AI is making marketing super efficient and effective.
But it also raises those concerns about privacy and data security.
You got it. It's a trade-off, right? Amazing how AI can personalize our online experiences, but we need to be sure our data is being used ethically.
Absolutely. So what other areas are being impacted?
Well, supply chain management is another one. AI can help optimize inventory, predict demand, even automate shipping and logistics.
So AI is helping businesses run more smoothly and efficiently.
Exactly. Streamlining processes, improving forecasting. It all helps save money, reduce waste, and get those products to customers faster.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
But are there any ethical considerations with AI in supply chain management?
Oh, definitely. Like, for instance, AI could automate tasks that were previously done by humans, which could lead to job losses. We need to think carefully about those potential impacts on workers.
Right. It's not just about efficiency, but about making sure these technological advancements benefit everyone.
Exactly. It's about using AI to create a more sustainable, equitable future for all.
Okay, that's a lot to think about. But let's pick up on that idea of fear again in part 2 of this deep dive, the fear of falling behind. See you there.
See, that fear of falling behind, right? It's a big driver in AI adoption.
Yeah, like schools and businesses feeling pressured to use AI or get left in the dust.
Exactly. And the article points out that this fear, while understandable, can sometimes be a problem.
How so?
Well, it can lead to rushing into things without thinking through the ethical implications.
Like the old saying, measure twice, cut once. But with AI, it's more like think twice, implement once.
I like that. We don't want to sacrifice ethics just to stay ahead of the curve.
Right. So how do we strike that balance? How do we move forward with AI innovation while still keeping ethics front and center?
Well, the article offers some concrete recommendations, like focusing on transparency.
Okay, so we've talked about transparency before. Can you remind us what that looks like with AI?
Sure, it's all about understanding how these AI systems work, what data they're using, how they're making decisions. No more black boxes.
Right, we need to be able to look under the hood, so to speak.
Exactly. We need to be able to scrutinize those decision-making processes, especially when they have a big impact on people's lives.
So whether it's an AI system recommending medical treatment or deciding who gets a loan, we need to know the reasoning behind it.
Absolutely. If we're going to trust AI, we got to understand how it's coming to its conclusions. But transparency is just one part of the equation.
Right. What about accountability?
That's crucial too. We have to establish who's responsible when an AI system makes a mistake. causes harm.
So it can't just be the algorithm did it and no one is held accountable.
Right. There has to be a human element of responsibility.
That makes sense.
We need to develop ways to deal with the consequences of AI decisions, whether that's regulations, audits, or something else.
So we're not just creating these powerful AI systems, but also systems to make sure they're being used ethically.
Exactly. And education is another critical piece. We need to teach people about AI.
About the potential benefits and risks.
Yeah, and all the ethical stuff we've been talking about.
Because if people don't understand AI, they can't really participate in these important conversations about its development, right?
Exactly. We need to break it down for people, make it accessible, and empower them to engage in informed discussions about AI's role in society. And it's not just the general public. We also need to prepare students for a future where AI is everywhere.
So what does that look like? Is it all about coding and tech skills?
Those are important, but it's bigger than that. We need to teach critical thinking, problem solving, and help students understand ethical principles.
Because they'll need to analyze information, evaluate different perspectives, and make good decisions in a world that's increasingly driven by AI.
Precisely. It's about preparing them not just for jobs of the future, but for a life where AI is woven into everything. And this educational piece goes beyond the classroom. We need opportunities for lifelong learning, professional development. That way people can adapt as the job market changes with AI.
It sounds like we need a multifaceted approach. Transparency, accountability, and education to build a strong ethical framework for AI. But it's not just about rules and guidelines, is it? It's about a shift in mindset.
You're right. It's not enough to just have policies. We need to create a culture where ethical considerations are built into the very process of developing and using AI.
So moving away from move fast and break things to move thoughtfully and build responsibly.
That's a great way to put it. Being proactive, not reactive. Prioritizing ethics from the get-go, and that's where having a variety of perspectives is so important.
Right, involving people from different backgrounds and with different views in the development of AI.
Exactly. We need to make sure AI isn't just being developed by a small, homogenous group. We need input from people with different lived experiences, cultural perspectives, and ethical frameworks.
Because if we want AI to benefit everyone needs to have a voice in shaping it.
Exactly. And this brings us to another really important point, something we've touched on before. We need to keep having these conversations about AI ethics. It's not a one-time thing.
Right. Things are constantly evolving, so we need to continually reassess and adapt.
AI ethics is not static. It changes as technology advances and our understanding of its impact grows. We need to be open to having tough conversations, challenging our own assumptions, and changing course when needed.
So being flexible, adaptable, and open to new perspectives is crucial, and recognizing that this isn't something any one person or group can solve on their own. We all have a role to play.
Absolutely. The future of AI isn't preordained. We're creating it right now with every choice we make, every line of code we write, every conversation we have.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have agency in this process. We can be passive bystanders, or we can actively participate in shaping the future of AI.
And the choices we make today will have a huge impact on the world of tomorrow. And this brings us back to our listeners. We really want to hear your thoughts on all of this. What are your hopes and concerns about AI?
What do you think needs to happen to ensure a more ethical AI future?
Share your ideas with us. You can find us on social media, send us an email, or even just start a conversation with your friends and family. These conversations need to happen everywhere, not just in academic settings or tech conferences.
Because at the end of the day, the future of AI isn't just about technology, it's about people.
It's about our values, the choices we make, and the world we want to create for ourselves and for future generations.
That's what makes this topic so important and so fascinating. We're not just talking about algorithms and data. We're talking about the very fabric of our society and the future of humanity.
And that leads to a question the article asks. If you could make one rule for how AI should be used, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really makes you think, what are our priorities for AI? Fairness, transparency, accountability, human well-being.
There's no single right answer, but just asking the question is so valuable.
It helps us understand our own beliefs and have productive conversations with people who might have different opinions.
Exactly. It's about finding common ground and working together to make sure AI is used for good.
And that's really what we're hoping to achieve with this deep dive, to get people thinking, to challenge assumptions, and to inspire action.
Because the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us, it's something we're building together.
And it's up to all of us to make sure it's a future we can all be proud of.
Yeah, that's a tough question. Really makes you think about what's most important to us when it comes to AI.
It does, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what are our non-negotiables?
So to all our listeners out there, we challenge you, what's your one rule for AI?
Take some time to really think about it.
Maybe even write it down.
Yeah. And if you want, share it with us. Hit us up on social media or shoot us an email. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Because this isn't just some abstract debate. It's about the future, the world we're building. And what we do today has a huge impact on what happens tomorrow.
It really does. It's about so much more than just the technology itself, right?
Absolutely. It's about what kind of world we want to live in. A world where technology helps us, not the other way around. Exactly. And that brings us back to the article. It's a call to action, a reminder that we all have a responsibility to shape the future of AI.
So we need to be informed, engaged, and ready to speak up for what we believe in.
Right. We have to hold ourselves and each other accountable for how AI is developed and used.
And remember, AI isn't some far-off thing. It's here now, and it's already changing our lives.
And the choices we make today will have a ripple effect for years to come.
So let's choose wisely. Let's be thoughtful and responsible about the future we're creating.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI ethics. We hope it's been informative and given you something to think about.
Maybe even spark some new ideas.
Yeah. And if it's made you passionate about this topic, even better.
Keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep. The future of AI is in our hands.